Okay, we're back again. No introductions again, and we got 6-8 of hearts. Middle position. I guess we'll call this middle position. I raised to 9k, which, is single digit raise. I just want to see a flop at this point. I don't really want any huge raises or any huge pots with this hand. It's kind of a crappy hand. I don't like it that much. But the flop comes 8-2-2, which is, an 8 high board. I'm gonna bet it. Continuation bet, always. About 22, and it's just a quick pot seal. And the real strategy behind this hand was to bet or to make a small raise on the pre-flop, just so you can see a flop yourself. If you want to see a flop with a hand, make a small raise. Case in point here too. I got 8-9 offsuit, late position. I just want to see the flop, so I raised 10k. I raised 10k with a lot of hands like this, so most people won't re-raise me. But if they do, what can you say? I get called by this guy who is fairly tight player. I've said it before, he's pretty tight. So instead of the continuation bet like I normally would, I'm just going to check it. Because I know he's got one of those 3 overcards. I know he does. So he bets 2k, and I'm going to call. And he bets 2k again, and I'm going to call just to see his hand to make sure that I'm right. I'm looking. I always look. And it turns out he has king 10. If I bet about 14k in the flop, he wasn't going to fold. I know he wasn't going to fold. He loves that hand. So, know your players, know when to bet to get them to fold, and know when to just check it down, let them have it. Here we got Queen King on the button. Some people are saying, why don't you play Queen King? It's such a good hand. I mean, it's not really. I don't like Queen King. Ace 6 beats it. Any ace, really. So, I don't really like hands like this. I raised to 11k. I get re-raised to 20k. I don't know if that was just like a misclick or something. But I'm going to call. It's 9k more. I got Queen King. Flop's going to come 8-9 Queen, which looks great for my hand. I like it. And then the pot 67k, and he's going to bet something. I completely forget. 30 something, maybe 40. 32. At this point, I wasn't entirely sure what he had. I'm going to get to see it, obviously, because of that 2k guy right there. So, I'm going to pass on the hand. I don't think that I had the best hand at this point. Turns out we tied. We both had Queen King. Lucky me, I didn't call, and that guy had pocket 6s and caught a 6. So I wouldn't have won anything. Doesn't matter. But it was pretty well played by him, I gotta admit. He pushed me off a hand with that just min-raise pre-flop. I thought he had a big pocket pair. He had Queen King. Good play, buddy. You smoked me. Alright, here you got 10 king clubs. I usually like suited hands, big suited hands. The flush is always a possibility. The flush is usually the best hand too. So we're gonna call the raise from the tight player. It's 12k raise, which caught me off guard because he usually raises 18, 20, 30k pre-flop, 50k. I don't know what his problem is, but he raises 12k. Makes me think he's got like a low pocket pair. Flop comes King Jack 7. Gives me top pair with a weak kicker. Not necessarily a hand that I like. This lady bets 10k, which makes me think she's trying to protect her king. I'm really debating raising. I'm just trying to think of how much. So I raised to 29, or to 39, excuse me. I get this guy pushes for 53, and she calls immediately. Makes me think she's on some kind of draw. He folds. I call. Turns a 7. Which means, my kicker 10 is now useless. And then the river's a heart. And then she bets really fast. Big and fast. Which makes me instantly fold. I know she's got a great hand. Turns out ace jack of hearts. She had her flush on the river. I could have bet her out, maybe. Very unlikely I would have bet her out. But, she hit. More props to her. Here, I have pocket 8s. Somebody raises 6k, so I bump it up 15. Why not? I hit my set. But the board is all diamonds. So I want to bet kind of big. I'm a little scared he might have the flush. I bet 18, and I think he calls, which usually should set off a red flag. If he's calling on a board like this, he's usually either chasing the flush or has the flush. One of the two. He probably doesn't have top pair. So I'm going to push him all in. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I got the set. If he flopped a flush, congrats to him. He called fairly quick, turns over ace queen of diamonds. What can you do? I flopped this. I mean, that day I think I flopped the set 4 times. while I was playing, and 3 of the 4 times I got out flopped by a flush. It happens some days. You can't fight it. Here I raised King 2 of clubs because I love King 2 of clubs. And I went to bet 20k, but I bet 2, which is wrong. You weren't supposed to do that. But turns to 6. I got the flush draw still. I might try and represent the straight. He checks to me. I'm gonna bet 20. I realize it's kind of low, but he might think that's a value bet. So it worked out well in the end, I suppose. I didn't need to see the next card. I didn't need to hit my flush. Took it down with king high. Let's see here. Ace 10. I don't like ace 10 either. It's not the best ace in the world, but I bump it up to 11k, and then the tightest player in the world decides to bump it up 50k more. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing here, but that's how he plays. I'm just going to quick fold, get out of his way, because I don't want to see a flop with ace 10, except, of course, ace 10. What do you know? I hit 2 pair while I folded 50k. Made the right decision pre-flop, didn't reward me. He bet 14k and she folded instantly. I had no idea what happened in that hand. I think he had pocket queens or kings, but you never know. He might have had something crazy. Ooh, here I had 7-8 in the big blind and everybody called, no raises, and the flop came 5-6-9 rainbow. And you notice I checked because whatever card came next, it wouldn't matter. I'd still have the best hand. The next card is a 9, which makes me wrong, I suppose. That could give someone a full house, but she bet 44, which is half her stack. I put her all in. I figured she might have a 9. Turns out she had the same hand I do. But that's one instance where slow playing isn't necessarily a bad idea. When the next card that comes, if it pairs the board, you're kind of in a difficult situation, but not entirely. But when the next card that's coming will not endanger your hand too bad, go ahead and slow play. It usually won't backfire on you. Here we got king queen, another crappy king queen. Flop comes king 10-6. I got top pair, decent kicker. I raise his initial 14k bet to 40, and then he raises me, which doesn't make any sense. I'm not entirely sure what he has. King queen can't be good with this many callers, so I give it up. Next turn card is a 9, which gives me that inside straight draw, but whatever. I don't necessarily need it to call, I guess. And then the river's a queen, which kind of takes me off. I'm hoping he has ace pocket jacks maybe. I don't know what he has at this point that I'm gonna lose to. He bets 28k and gets called. We can see his hand. It's king 6. Ugh, I hate that hand. I mean, I made the right decision, but I wasn't rewarded for it. River would have gave me the win in a 300k pot, but I folded, and I gave it up. I'm done with it. Here we got pocket 9s in middle position, and I played it really aggressive, I thought, until those 3 people called, which caught me off guard immediately. So I was a little worried about the flop in case it had an overcard, but it didn't have an overcard for a change, just pairs, 8-8-2. So I'm gonna bet big here, not all in, but decent big, 80k into 120k pot. They all fold, so I played my 9s very aggressive, as opposed to what I would normally do, was just flat call and look for that set. So playing aggressive usually has benefits like that. Took down a decent sized pot with pocket 9s, even though I didn't hit a set. Always good. Here I think I was under the gun because the lady to the right of me just bought in, so I'm under the gun. I have queen jack of hearts and I just call. Flop gives me 2 hearts and a queen, pair and a flush draw. Always raising material. This lady bet 5. I raised to 18, and I get heads up with her. I don't remember quite why she called. If I remember her hand correctly, it was terrible. Excuse me. I'm exhausted. I went to work at 10 p.m. last night. Got home at 7. Sitting in a car until like 11 a.m. and then doing this commentary. And turn card is the 7 of hearts. Gives me a flush. She bets 20. I'm just gonna raise her 20, put her all in. I don't think she has a better hand than me at this point. She flips over an ace of hearts. I mean, if she hit a heart, that would have been really crappy, but she didn't. Alright guys, that's all the hands I have to show you. Some of the strategies here will hopefully help you do a little bit better, even better than the last time you watched the videos. So enjoy, hopefully see you on the tables, and good luck everybody.